Hello, and welcome to this second video in our series on ontology. In the last video, we covered the theories of ontology. Today, we dive into reKnowledge's ontological editors, called the brain. You can access the brain by clicking on the left tab, on the B. Here, you'll notice you'll find three subtabs: domain, relationship, and UDM, which stand for user-defined models. Today, we'll focus on the domain tab. Here, you can see that our base ontology has 5 core classes, namely entity, individual, event, location, and item. Under any of those classes, the user can create bespoke subclasses. Here, for instance, we'll create one for companies. So we'll add the name of the subclass, we apply it, select an icon, this one will do. And then we can start adding bespoke properties or attribute for that particular subclass. But before we do this, I'd like you guys to notice that company already has a couple of attributes, namely summaries and description. Those attributes are coming from the parent entity. So they were defined here, and all attributes defined at the parent entity will automatically be passed to the child subclasses. So here, for company now, we're going to create some bespoke properties. So let's start by adding a sector property, where we can record the sector of the company. Here, I decide to choose a string field that gives me the option to input whatever values, and since I don't know exactly what sort of companies I'll be capturing at this stage, it's probably better to leave it open. Next, I'll create a second property called type, and here the type is more restricted in terms of option, so I can create a list of standard options: private ownership, public ownership, mixed ownership, other in case, and unknown. Also note that the very first values is empty. I do this so that when I create a new node, the default values in the dropdown remain empty and doesn't auto-populate with the first value. So here we've got a couple of bespoke attributes specific to companies. They won't appear under entity, obviously. But let's say we want some properties that are a bit more complicated or a bit more structured. So say we want to capture some financial information. Here we could create a whole list of attributes pertaining to financial information, or we could create a categories and then add those properties under that category. So this is what we're gonna do now. Here we'll create a new categories of property called financial information, and here I'll select object. So here, notice we have a new attribute coming under the list, and in the attribute we have the ability to create sub-properties. So typically we could add revenue, and that's going to be a number. We might want to add unit. Otherwise, when we have companies making billions in revenue, we're going to have to put all the zero, which obviously can lead to mistakes. So here units will use string, and we'll create 1,000 millions, billions. Apply. Here we go. Next, we probably want to capture the currency. And again, here we should have a list of set currencies. So for sake of example, I'm just going to put a couple. GBP, boom. And then maybe we want to capture the year to which that particular information is pertaining to. Here we go. And so here we've just created a very bespoke scorecard for companies, which will capture information that matter to us. So let's see how it works in practice now. So here we are. We search for BP revenue. We reKnowledge the page, and now we can add BP as a new company. So here is the icon you've selected earlier. So sector, oil and gas, financial information, 303.7 billion USD, and that was 2018. And that's it. Now the information is saved. The system will obviously have recorded where we got it from. So in this case, the Google scorecard, and store it in our system. So now we can go here, look for BP, all our information are safely stored. Simple, right? Well, so that was for a quick overview of how to customize your domain ontology. Next time, we will look at relationship and how you can define those and organize your relationship schema. All right, see you next time.